Okay, so this is infinity. Ignore the drawing, yeah? But this is awareness in its raw form in baseline reality. There is no way any human can articulate it, so this is the best I can do. Let's deal with it, okay? So this thing, because it's all there is, there's nothing else to do but it has a desire. I think it's innate, yeah, to experience itself. So what does it do? Yeah, it wants to experience, so it creates a prism or form, which is a translator. Yeah, the human form could be seen as a prism to translate itself for itself. Yeah, because there's nothing else beyond these boundaries. Yeah, okay, cool. There are no boundaries anyway. But now it creates this because this is temporary. Any questions? Okay, good. So it creates this as a temporary prism to translate itself in order to experience itself. Okay, cool. Now, what happens is by translating itself, it condenses itself, fractalizes itself, if you like, through this prism and beams out itself as a person or insert living being to experience its own microcosm, yeah? But really what's happening is it's actually observing a mirror and experiencing itself, yeah? Any questions? Okay, now what I'm trying to talk to you about today is the actual mechanics of the prism, yeah? The mechanics of the body. The brain and the nervous system act as a graphics card, yeah, which essentially help to render the reality and stabilize this, because this is pure chaos. I wouldn't even say it's chaotic, it's chaos itself. So this device has within it a capability, yeah, the human body has a capability to basically stabilize this. But really, what does that mean? What that means is it translates infinite sound, light, and color and sensation into code. Yeah? And what that means is infinity translates into code. Everything you're seeing. Oh, shit. Let me. So I'm writing in my. 1 second, hold on. Yeah, so. Where was I? So. Yeah, this mechanism. So essentially, it's translating infinite sound, light, color, sensation into code, yeah? Everything you see is code, which is rendered, yeah? A plausible code. So then when this thing experiences itself as this or this becomes a plausible story. Yeah? Because everything you're observing outside of your awareness, it's not outside of your awareness, it's just you, as in the words of Neville Goddard, it's you pushed out. Yeah? This is what's actually happening. Yeah? And this device, because I told you your body is a computer, I know people have this funny thing about computers and mechanical things, and they think that's all metal and human is different. The human body is probably the closest thing we actually have to a computer. Like, I think a computer is actually a bastardization of the original computer, which is our form. Because remember, the thing is infinite intelligence, right? So if the thing is to fractalize itself into a prism or a translator to allow itself to experience itself, don't you think the device would be super intelligent, even unconsciously? Is your body not super intelligent unconsciously? Does it not run and regulate itself, change it, it gets rid of cells, it cleans itself, does everything, pumps blood around your body, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to lift a finger. It does everything. Does that not happen? Is that not infinite intelligence in actual motion? So that it even in itself reveals itself as infinity, infinite potential, translating itself. Because there's nothing outside of God. There's nothing outside of awareness, right? So therefore, the very translator, the thing it uses to translate itself, is also embodies the very intelligence that the thing actually is, because the very prism, the very form that's created to translate it is itself. This is why all religious people have cognitive dissonance and mental problems and mental illnesses, actually, because if you think that your body was created, by God, and if God is all things and all powerful, but yet somehow your body is outside of the grace of God, it's madness. It's madness, because there's nothing that God can create that is outside of God or separate from God, because everything God creates is itself, because it's all powerful, right? So the very notion that you need to seek forgiveness from God is the very height of stupidity or insanity, because it's like the thing is seeking forgiveness from itself. It's madness, bro. But religious people, that's another story for another day. Some of them, they can't be saved. They'll die, they'll come back, and maybe they'll figure it out then. I mean, the truth they'll know. So maybe this is not their go around, but regardless, yeah. But anyway, that's what's actually happening. So this thing wants to experience itself. Yeah, it wants a story to live. It wants to experience a story, because this thing is a story, actually. Its very existence itself is a story. Any questions? Okay. So it fashions this prism, yeah? Think of it as a light hitting with the prism and the rainbow, but it needs a surface, right? It's the same with the human body. This is the form. I just use this as a stand-in for the human body to translate itself for itself, because when it translates itself, it also experiences itself. It's the infinite loop right there. So then it gets translated into form, microcosm. So everything you're experiencing here is you, yeah? So everything you're experiencing here is you. It's awareness, yeah? Yeah, everything here is you. So even the religious people that I'm gunning, they are aspects of my own self. Do you see? That are just unconscious. But because we are this thing, and this thing is truth in itself, eventually, even though we share different microcosms, eventually this equation will solve itself, and we'll all realize the ultimate truth of what's actually happening. Whether we like it or not, it will happen. And within the device called your body, yeah, it has a brain and nervous system. This is the, if you like, the heart of the machine, yeah. So if you were to slice slice a prism, yeah, the prism has an intelligence within it, yeah, just like your body has an intelligence within it. That's what the brain represents, and that's your graphics card, yeah, which basically allows for this chaos to be rendered into code, so your form can understand it as a plausible story for it to live in. You do this every night when you dream also. But when you're doing it, when you're dreaming, this is not drawing on external stimuli. There's no external really, but it's drawing on memory files and imagination. But it's the same mechanics, yeah? So this is what's actually happening. Translates you into this. You stand somewhere here. Yeah? This is the truth. This is why in Inception, when Ariadne woke up in a dream, and she didn't even know that she was in a dream, and the guy told him that, you know, how did we get here? She was like, oh, we just came from because at that point, they had bypassed, her conscious mind. They bypassed it. So the conscious mind, they had bypassed her awareness, So the conscious mind had strung together a plausible story. It looked like a city. It looked like, oh yeah, they just came from, even though it's gaps, is very plausible. This is why when lucid dreamers will tell you, you need to check in on yourself all the time. Ask yourself, how did I get here? Check the time. What's the other one you can do? Maybe look at your fingers, because your fingers and your hands are always weird looking in dreams and stuff. So by doing that, you are essentially testing. Essentially, you're testing this, because this doesn't show you reality. It can't show you reality, because how? It can't, because you're this. Yeah? So how can it show you reality? Everything that is here is simply you translated. So what it's showing you is your own self. You don't know what base reality is. You can't know. It's here. Yeah? It's impossible. Okay? You see? So every day in your waking life, you accept this as reality. So it solidifies and it becomes real and it binds you. Everything here, because it's your own creation, they run on very specific rules. So when you wake up every morning, there are subconscious rules, and agreements that you make before you wake up. I'm in this city, I'm in this is my demographic, this is my fucking socioeconomic status, this is my blah, 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 blah. You agree to all of them, But the fact of the matter is, you can't be anywhere here without being aware that you were there. So you have to place yourself anywhere in your dream. This is your choice. This is why the people that talk to you about manifestation and realizing the truth will tell you that it's all about awareness. It's got nothing to do with doing anything or paying anybody or joining any clubs or cults or whatever, because this is actually what's happening. Who are you paying, bro? It's stupid. If you don't like where you are, you have to place yourself somewhere else. Become aware of being somewhere else, and this will re-render itself to accommodate you there. If you don't like it here, go here. Become aware that you're here. This will change to reflect that. Or just suffer and die, bro.